like an actual like gravel roll.
Oh,
It does like an up and down. Like there's pits
yeah.
in the sound when I talk on that one. Still on this one too, I can hear it, but not as much.
No, it doesn't stand out. It's fine.
Yeah. Are we going?
Yes, we're going.
Are you okay? Are you gonna die?
I'm dying.
Don't die.
It's a slow death.
Welcome to the incredibly morbid Daily Torch. I'm Lane, and that's Casey.
Why is it morbid? Wait.
You were dying.
Oh, because I start off dying, and you're just like, oh, it's just a morbid show.
Yeah,
now.
it's okay. Listen, we might lose a couple here and there.
It's fine.
It's just
It's
cost of doing business.
You know what it is? It's the heat, death of the universe. That's slowly killing me every day. That's the sun, by the way, if you didn't know.
Yeah, I got that. What's the timeline for that?
I don't know.
We're what, 7.5 billion years out?
But I mean, before it changes composition,
Yeah.
because it's got a, what do we have? We have the yellow. Is it the yellow dwarf? And then it goes to be a red dwarf, and then it turns out to be like a blue something, and then it goes white. And then it supernovas and collapses in on itself, and yeah.
Yeah, when does that start again?
Yeah, 50 million years or so.
So your body is slowly feeling this incremental death
Yes.
and has physical expressions of such.
Well, it wasn't. I wasn't coughing a couple of summers ago, but now the summer has come, and now I'm coughing. So clearly, the summer and the sunshine is what's killing me. Simple logic, my friend.
I don't know.
What else could it be? It couldn't be like the 3 cigars a day. I mean, that's healthy. George Burns was on 15. He didn't have a cough.
It was George Burns. He was barely human.
That's true. I'm not actually sure. He might be the first animatronic. Like, if we really think about it, was George and Gracie a Disney movie, like TV show?
I don't know. Would have been would it have been Disney or would have been what was the other one that they owned? Miramar. Miramar for their R-rated movies? Was that what it was?
Miramax.
Miramax.
Well, no, I think this is before. I think we'd have to look. We'd have to like trace back when George and Gracie came out.
I don't know.
See who owned it.
This is your realm of expertise, not mine.
That's fair.
All right, so we've got some whiskeys. It's just the two of us. Everyone else bailed because, why not? So we got a couple picks. They're all wheated. We got a Nulu toasted wheat pick. We got a Rebel single barrel pick. And we got an Old Elk double wheat that's not a pick. It's the same one we've tasted here against other stuff because it's just a pretty solid reference for wheated bourbons. And that's what we're doing. Did you like the race today, Casey? Oh, and we're smoking. We're both smoking. I finally gave in, and I brought Casey one of my Padron 1926s.
Yes, graciously, out of the kindness of your lockbox. AKA the Ziploc baggie on the shelf,
Yeah.
hidden away in the secret location.
AKA the shelf.
Off the A101 near Northamptonshire.
Oh, if you can't tell, we just watched the latest Grand Tour special. It was fantastic, as usual. The cars are amazing. I don't know where they got them. They had to work really hard to find those cars. All right. I watched the race, kind of. There wasn't much going on. I did get an extra 5 points. Slowly separating from my competition.
I don't know how you do it. I don't know. Other than just having Guan Yu Zhou.
That's it. We have the same team other than that. He refuses to go from Hulkenberg, which is fine. I'm okay with that because Hulkenberg gets points for qualifying high and then loses all those spots. Today he was -1 point, even though he qualified 5th or whatever, second and then 5th.
Didn't he have a collision though? Didn't he? Did he have damage?
I don't know. He didn't DNF. He finished one spot above Zhou.
No, I know.
But he lost so many spots it didn't matter.
Yeah,
and they were both out of the points.
He fell back, but I feel like it was something. I feel like he had floor damage. I think he hit the sausage curb somewhere.
You think so?
I think so.
But why? It happens every week. It's the same every week.
Well, maybe every week he's just hitting the sausage curb.
All right, okay, so
I know.
before we go,
Hulkenberg.
so you've had the double wheat. I'm not going to go over that with you. That's not blind. The other two, neither of us have had, but I do have some of the tasting notes on it. So the Nulu toasted wheat is supposed to taste like strawberry jam and toast.
Like buttered toast?
I don't know about butter, but like a little bit of that char plus like the strawberry jelly.
Okay. So toast
That's what they
plus
said.
Strawberry jelly.
And the Rebel is said to taste of pecan pie.
Okay.
So, if that helps you along the path.
I mean,
I want to let you know what I know so that you don't accuse me of cheating for the what episode is this?
You already cheated.
This is the 18th episode, so
you've
accuse me of
already-
cheating for the 18th time.
Because you know you cheated.
How did I cheat? You watched me open them.
You just subtly admitted to
You
cheating already.
literally no. I
You
said
was-
you
it was in
accused me
there.
of cheating.
You were like, I'm already going to tell you right now that I'm not cheating. Because clearly,
That's not how that works.
if you come out with the I'm not cheating defense, I have no retort or rebuttal, apparently.
you said
Because you've already put it in evidence, so I can't be like, nah, he's cheating. Your Honor, his character has come out already as a cheater, so I can't prove that he's actually cheating this time.
that's not at all how that works.
Yeah, I've
Evidence doesn't work in that way.
Yes, it does. I've seen Suits. I know how this works. I know how the law works.
Fucking suits. God. Fuck. All right. So now you know what I know. Plus, you smelled at least one of them before I have. In fact, you smelled two of them before I have.
That's not my fault. You were slow.
So
on
you
it.
literally have a time advantage.
I do.
Anyway, how'd you survive the weekend? For the record, first real summer weekend in Tahoe. I know because no one could drive. But Casey actually had to sit through it in the shop.
An understatement. People.
So
I was coming. So okay, this was today. Okay?
Today?
Today.
all right,
today.
tell me about today.
today in the wonderful. I can't wait till they actually start working in the Zephyr Cove thing, and I think they're waiting until after 4th of July.
I keep wondering why people are allowed to park there.
Yeah, like so that you've seen. If you look, I'm sure you can tell that they've cleared out most of the trees by now.
Oh yeah, they're starting to do work.
Yeah, like
but they're not. I thought they were gonna mark off all that parking.
I
That
think
street
they're
parking.
waiting till after 4th of July to get serious. They hung the cross wiring for the light.
Okay, I didn't notice that.
The cross wiring is up. So that part's like good. But today, at that fucking Warrior Road, this dude in a Subaru,
Tried to kill himself.
yeah.
Yeah.
He was already like 1.5 lanes out on that side while traffic is coming at him. And he's just like parked there. Like
hanging out?
He's trying to turn to come this way.
Oh,
So he's just parked there. And it was like, dude, what are you doing? And then I guess yesterday, what's today?
today's Sunday.
What was the date?
I don't know, the 19th maybe
Oh, when was the 17th?
or the 18th. Today's the 18th.
Okay,
17th was yesterday.
So we had like a marathon or something?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
No, we had the Rock Tahoe half marathon.
Okay. So apparently that whole road was coned off. On that one lane was coned off so the runners could go through.
Yeah. Same as that bike race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I noticed yesterday, I think it was yesterday, when I was coming here, there were more cars just like willy-nilly parked as if they didn't care to be over the curb, and I think it was because it was coned off when they started to park there.
Oh, I believe it.
So
I can
that
see
they
people
were-
making that mistake.
Yeah, half parked in the road. I was just like, dude, people are gonna get killed
Yeah.
on this damn road.
What happens every year?
Summertime.
I
is
hate that
so
road.
stupid.
It's not as bad as the one going to Incline Village from Highway 50. That's 28.
Yeah, the death parking.
Dude, I've
Let's
watched.
park on a cliff.
There was like a 9-car accident coming back today because I went up there. I told you I went up there to look for that old Forester barrel pick.
Yeah.
That Rayleigh's had. They had one left.
Yeah.
But then I had to come back that road this direction.
And it was
So
just-
I was in Carson at the range with my dad doing the Father's Day thing. Then I went to Reno, basically just to get in and out. Stop by some stores, see if there's anything special. But it's a Sunday, so everything that was special has been picked through. But I
Right.
was there, so why not? Then drove up to Incline, found that barrel pick, and headed back here. And I mean, one of the cars got hit so hard it was missing a wheel.
Holy shit.
Like there was,
Gone. Just wheel.
yeah, there was 4 officers there, plus a tow truck.
Wow.
I think they were waiting for another tow truck. I think the one needed a flatbed.
Probably.
And this is June 18th, so we're going to see this every weekend
For the next
through October.
12 weekends, 15 weekends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Stupid. Absolutely stupid.
And it wasn't even nice. The wind was howling today.
It was-
I don't know why you would have been on the beach.
Yeah, it wasn't a nice day today.
No.
It was windy.
It was nice in Carson. The wind actually cooled it down a little bit. But yeah. So the sooner they can get rid of that parking at Zephyr, the better.
Yes.
because that's a mess. It's always been a mess, but it's just gotten worse over the last like 4 years.
Well, because I feel like people have gotten quirkier.
They've gotten less likely to ask.
Yeah.
They're definitely doing the ask for forgiveness, not
rather
permission
than
thing.
permission, yeah.
They're also up here in Tahoe. A lot of those people just don't care if they get the ticket. Outside of their car actually being towed, like outside of NHP going and actually towing cars,
Which they don't do.
they just take the ticket.
Yeah.
They're like, and it's steep on the Nevada, like over on 28. I think it's almost $300, and they just don't care. They're like, whatever. It's just paying
Nice.
for parking for the day. We're in Tahoe for 5 days. We can take a couple of these. I mean, when you're paying $5,000 a night for a 2-bedroom Airbnb.
Yeah, you're yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's a story I heard was on that it's that VinWiki channel, and the one dude, he has like the record for most tickets. He has like 200 and something tickets. He's like here's the thing. He's like, tickets in America are different than like tickets. Like if we really cared about driving in this country, right? Our tickets would be more like they are in Germany. Right? Like in Germany, you're more likely to get ticketed for driving in the wrong lane than you are for speeding, because there's really no speeding.
Oh, lane discipline in this country is atrocious.
Yeah, but in Germany though, it's very serious. Like
Yeah.
that's where the tickets come from, because they're more worried about, actual road safety.
Yeah.
Whereas tickets in America are just to boost coffers.
Oh,
basically.
dude, all the blacked out cars, I just call them tax extortion vehicles.
Yeah, but
Because it's not preventative in any way.
No.
No one's going to see that car. I mean, if you see it enough times, you know what it is. Most people just see a black car.
Yeah.
They don't think of it as a cop, right? So they're not slowing down because they saw a cop.
Yeah.
It's really just bait.
No, for sure. And that's why. So he treats it as like, he's like, oh, this is just a fee I get for my hobby.
Yeah.
So he just says, fuck it. He just drives around, like, gets speeding tickets, gets whatever. And he's like, as long as I'm not paying more than $5,000 a year, he's like, you know what? That's an acceptable hobby cost.
Well,
I was like, man, I wish
Dude,
I had that freedom. To just,
one of the guys that I knew in Southern California, he was a VP for the PMA, the Pacific Maritime Association.
Okay.
They're basically they're the opposite of the longshoremen. So they're the corporate arm, like the corporate conglomerate arm of the shippers that negotiate against the longshoremen for dock contracts and stuff.
oh, okay.
But he lived, so that his job was in Long Beach. He lived in Monrovia, which is right next to Pasadena.
Okay.
That's a 3-hour commute in traffic in the morning.
Ew.
But he would just jump in the carpool lane. He's like, I get a ticket like once every 8 business days. The ticket is this much. This is the annual cost. I can afford it.
He's just playing the numbers.
It's worth saving me, because it saved him like an hour and a half in commute time, both directions.
Well, why doesn't he just get a...
Well, this was before Fast Track down there too, which I'm sure now he just bought Fast Track, but this is before that.
Oh, yeah.
So he'd just take the tickets.
Well, he should just take a wax cut out of Nigel Mansell.
No, because that's a crime. I know. How hard do you think they had to negotiate? They're like, all right. So here's the thing. We're going to take this.
I'm sure it was like, do you have a spare one of those? And they were like, yeah, why? And they were like, well, do you have a crappier, like, older version that you don't care about anymore? And they were like, yeah, we have one in the back. Why?
They're like, put that out.
They're like, put that one out because we're going to steal it.
It's coming with us.
Yeah. And they were like, oh, please take it off our hands. that's probably, that was like, I think that was legitimately the worst wax museum I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, it was pretty bad.
And like, it was impressive.
And then they shot Nigel Mansell in the face.
With a bow.
Yeah. I swear, dude, I know so much of that is planned out, and I just don't care. It's just fun.
Well, here's the thing, right? It's planned out, but it's done properly.
Yeah, and part of it's not planned out. Like, there's no way he knew that car was going to be that bad when he got it.
No, because he was like, oh, whatever, it's fine,
And then he's doing like 18 miles an hour, almost getting run off the road by trucks.
Yeah.
Definitely worth a watch.
See, this banana boat is all I get out of this.
See?
It smells like banana boat.
That was you, not me.
No, that was me, yeah. Cheers.
Salud. Yeah, I have thoughts. I think I know. I'll share with you at some point when the time is right. Do you like any of them so far?
Oh, God. Oh.
No on C.
Oh.
Hot, or you don't like the flavor?
Oh, that tastes... Oh, it tastes like banana boat. Oh. What is that? Oh. Oh.
Do you want my thoughts? Do you want to start talking about this?
What do you foresee?
Have you
Sure.
tried the others?
No.
Try the others first, and then we'll go over
Oh, okay. Well,
what I think is what.
It can't be as bad as a fucking banana boat.
So, I'm back to driving to Tahoe at 4:35 in the morning from work,
Yes.
and I'm back to trying all the old things to stay awake. Right? It's like pre-workout.
Yeah.
You know what I found though? So that cookie that you got came with some peanut butter cookies,
Oh.
and maybe I just wasn't that tired, but I had a peanut butter cookie on the way home. I was fine. Like, this might be the secret. Also, an excuse to eat peanut butter cookies. Yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah, that job's not getting any better. It's kind of, I like a lot of the people that work there. And my boss is a nice guy, but he's lost. Like, he's struggling. I think we might be a little deep on cigars for whiskey tasting tonight, if I'm being honest.
I've only had 1.5.
Yeah.
I've been trying to lighten my cigar load when we do whiskey so that I...
Oh, I didn't, because I don't smoke hardly anymore, because
Yeah.
that job. So this is my third.
See.
Because I had that tiny little guy.
Yeah, you're deeper than I am.
Yeah.
Oh, but A and B are not good.
Well, that means you don't like any of them. You've had the old elk before. You like the old elk.
Wait, no.
B and C are not good.
B are not good.
All right. I think those are the picks, if I'm being honest. I think
But this one's got potential.
A is the double wheat. That's my
Oh. A is hot. Oh, but not terrible.
well, they're all a little hot.
Yeah, that's A is not terrible.
Do you get any of the strawberry on B?
No.
Pull it away from your nose and see if you get any.
Like. All right, there is kind of like a
Here, let me ask this a different way. Could you
like a fruity like a fruit?
yeah, like a fruit.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Could you confuse the banana boat in C for pecan? Think buttered pecan. Not pecan pie, think buttered pecan. Like butter pecan ice cream.
Oh.
That should tell you what I think each one is at this point. I haven't given them scores yet.
Like a toasted butter pecan.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm going to try and give them objective scores, but I think
Which is disturbing that also smells like banana boat.
I think A is the double wheat, I think B is the Nulu toasted, and I think C is the Rebel.
The Rebel?
Yeah.
The pecan one?
That's where I'm at.
Okay.
Which makes me also curious about these people's picks, because I pay a small fee every month to have access to their picks because they sell out, and I'm thinking I might switch that to somebody else's picks. Because their picks have not been amazingly impressive to date.
Yeah, I mean, the description of strawberry jam and toast is not what I get
On B?
on B. If
Could
that
be
is
C.
the
I could be
fact.
wrong.
But
Like I said, I'm 4 cigars in. I could barely taste these.
But like you know, I don't know. Like now that you mentioned the toasted pecan like ice cream,
Yeah.
I get that now from B or from C.
I get just
So-
a little bit of fruit on B.
But yeah, in B, and I noticed it the first time I picked it up. There's definitely like a fruity, like a tone to it.
Yeah.
So there's definitely some that should be a fruity note.
Is there any fruit in C? No, I think B is. I'm pretty sure B is the Nulu.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to go A, C, B for me. I like them more than you do.
Yeah, I mean,
All right, we're going to
they're hot. You like hot.
Yeah, hot doesn't bother
Yeah,
me.
you like hot.
I'm taking too many shots over the years. We're going to go. You need to stop giving out 90s too, unless it really is a 90. Hey, this is going to be a 68, and that's going to be a 74, I think. I think that's
Hey, if I can casually enjoy it without making one of those faces, it's a 90 in my book.
that's fair.
because that means I will drink it again.
Dude,
And again.
at some point I'm gonna bring in some really, really, really good bourbon, and you're gonna scoff at it because they're like 136 proof.
Yeah, and I'm like, hot. Smooth. Very smooth.
What time did we start?
We started 20 minutes ago.
Hey, how far in the lead is 20 minutes? So we started at like 11:40.
Yeah.
Oh, Father's Day is over. That's right. I got my dad time in. I hung out with him. I was gonna take him to lunch, but he wasn't hungry. I think he had somewhere to be. But that's fine.
Your dad
We
had
had fun.
plans?
With my sister. I think he wanted to get the other sibling time in.
That's fair.
Yeah. And my sister just got done with. She just went through a 6-month period of her job that was particularly hectic.
Yes.
And she
fair.
literally just finished like 4 days ago.
That's
So
perfectly understandable then.
not only was it Father's Day, but he hasn't gotten to see her very often.
Yeah.
She hasn't gotten to see him very often for the last however long.
Well, that's good then.
And I wasn't going to step on that. I was like, oh, I'll go to Reno.
Yeah.
Go hang out with my sis.
So what? How far ahead is you for what?
What was I saying?
You were asking a question.
Oh, how far ahead is Verstappen in the points now?
I mean, does it matter?
No, he's going to win.
It's yeah.
At this point, it's all but locked up.
And that was the thing is there was a guy for IndyCar giving an interview, and he was like, "I feel bad for Formula One." He's like sans an actual problem, like mechanical failure.
Yeah.
Every weekend, you know who's gonna win.
Yeah.
He's like, it's boring.
Yeah.
And he's like, and I feel bad because Formula One has great drivers. Like some of those guys are fantastic drivers, and they are just stuck. Mm-hmm. And you look at IndyCar where, like, the body's made by one person, and the motor you can only pick one of 3 motors, but they're basically all the exact same motors.
Yeah.
There's something to be said for that.
IndyCar's a lot closer to stock car than it is to F1.
Yeah, like
in that
there's-
respect.
there's and I appreciate that there's something to be said for that, but the thing is when F1 gets it right, like when all those cars are close together, it is some of the most fantastic racing.
Yeah, but when was the last time that happened?
2008.
So we're going on 16 years.
Well, 2016 was pretty good. Well, no, because that was really just Nico and.
It's just
2017 before Ferrari got caught cheating. That was a pretty good year.
Right up until, but
Yeah.
this is like you want to see exceptional talent. You don't want to see whoever has the best car wins.
Yeah, I mean,
And on some level, it's racing, like that's part of it. But you don't want to be so far, and that's what the cost cap is supposed to eliminate, right? But you don't want to be so far apart that there's probably 6 drivers you could put in Verstappen's car that would be in that position.
yeah, that's fair.
I mean, where the car is, yes, he's an exceptional driver, but so are the rest of the guys.
Yeah.
And if you swapped him into car X and car X's driver into that Red Bull car,
Then that person's gonna win.
same result.
Yeah, pretty much. Once they know how to drive it, you're done.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I was thinking about this though, actually, and I figured out I know the solution to Formula One.
What do you got?
All right, so if you win the constructors championship, you have to forfeit the blueprints for your car.
That would do it. They used to. There was some super low level racing league in California. I think it was mostly in California.
Okay.
There was a fixed price on your car, and if you won, other teams could buy it.
Oh, there you go. There you go. No, I just think in today's era, right? Like, yeah, you know what? That's a race winning car, right?
Yeah.
To even the playing field, like all of the technical schematics for that car have to be given up.
Well, I think
and that means that the other teams, they're not going to be able to copy it necessarily. They could, I guess, but they would know certain things, and then I think their car would develop into be something different.
yeah.
But this, I mean, you look at Mercedes now, right? We're 3 races off those Monaco upgrades, and they're starting to look consistent with.
They look much better.
Yeah, and I mean,
I still think Fernando Alonso's car is faster.
yeah, I think. Well, it definitely. I mean, Lewis could catch him today.
Yeah. Well, in fact, he passed him, and then he couldn't catch him.
Yeah.
Like, he got passed and then couldn't catch him.
And then he was like, damn. Yeah, because then Mercedes still doesn't like to drive in dirty air.
I was reading an article that Mercedes is pretty much out of it until 26.
Till the new motor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, at this point, they're far enough behind, and the cost cap is that limiting that there's not much they can actually do.
yeah, I mean, it's basically just play with aerodynamic ideas and balance out other shit. Because you know that they've already off-ended that motor research like 3 layers deep somewhere else.
Yeah.
That
Well,
it doesn't
so is
play against the cost cap.
So is everyone with money.
Yeah, if you've got money and you're a constructor, you've buried that engine R&D somewhere, so it looks like it goes on a Peugeot or something. And
Yeah, and this is sort of the problem, the fault of the cost cap, right? In that it's sort of a cost cap, but if you have enough money, it's not really a cost
right,
cap.
because you can just hide it somewhere else.
Yeah, you can bury it in some other project,
Yeah.
some unrelated whatever, and it's not going to matter.
Well, it's like, you look at that Mercedes F1 car, right?
Oh, yeah.
And you just go, okay. So you're spending billions of dollars to make a production F1 car that no one's seen and very few people have actually driven. And very few people have actually been shown driving it more than like 10 feet. And you're going to tell me that that's not for secret R&D money that you're using on Formula One? Like, come on. I'm not stupid.
Yeah. No, I agree. We're gonna. You know what? I like the guesses, but I'm changing. We're gonna raise one and lower one and swap their places. All right, I got my scores.
Okay.
Two. And I have my guesses.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go. I'll tell you what. I'll give you my.
Wait, hold on. Let me finish getting this written down so I don't.
Don't lose it.
Yeah, that's right. Nulu. OE. All right. Give me your scores first.
Okay. So I'm gonna go. Well, I'm gonna go A, B, C for my ranking.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
A would probably have to be like a 72.
Okay.
I'm gonna say. B is like a 63,
Okay.
and then C. We're gonna call C 59.
Okay.
It's right on the cusp there.
I went A. So I went CAB. I actually like C.
Really,
Yeah, I like C.
C is growing on you.
Yeah, the more I taste it against the others, it's standing up to the other whiskeys pretty well.
Okay.
Where A, I liked A initially, but it's kind of fallen apart against the other whiskeys.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Again, 4 cigars deep.
No, that's fair. No one's judging you here.
So A, I'm gonna give A a 78. I'm gonna give B a 68, and I'm gonna give C an 80.
Okay.
And that might be a little high, but that's where I'm going. I'll average them out real fast. So, yeah, I just don't. That's the part of the cost cap I don't like.
Yeah.
Because I know those teams are going to spend money somehow. Like, you start getting Chevy and Ford. Like, Ford's going to research parts for their F1 car if they get back in every other project they have.
Yeah. I mean, they're probably doing it right now.
Yeah, fair chance.
You know. I think the cost cap works.
I think it's
Like-
better than nothing.
Well, I think it would have to work. I think it'll work better when it's 2026. Like if everyone develops their motor like they are, right?
Yeah.
But now you have it focused on ground effect versus what it was, which was not ground effect. I think we get to a point where that cost cap actually starts to make everyone more honest and fair. But I also think the FIA needs to come up with more stricter, like, terms if you break the because
Real punishment?
yeah, Red Bull lost out on what?
They lost out on
Wind tunnel
significant
time.
wind tunnel time. Like, it wasn't insignificant.
Yeah, but it's still.
But they also didn't need it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you're not taking away what they need. You're just limiting what they kind of had.
Yeah.
Like, good for you, but they don't necessarily need it.
I mean,
because they have Adrian Newey.
real penalties, right? The NFL does this. They take away draft picks.
Yeah.
Force them not to give them. You can't upgrade your car until week 15 or race
Oh,
15.
There you go.
Right? Like, let's get creative, but let's have actual punishments. Anyway, all right. Final scores.
That'd be pretty good, actually. I like that.
Right?
All right, what do you got?
A1, 75.
Okay.
Then C, 68.5. Then B, 65.5.
Oh.
You want to step back and see what we're drinking?
A little close there. Yeah, let's see here. Maybe move this.
Oh, did you want to make guesses? Do you agree with me on the guesses? That would make it really easy.
I agree with you on the guesses.
Okay. Probably because I did the explaining of the flavor profile,
Yes.
which means if I'm wrong, then we're both fucked. That's how that goes.
Well, then we're going down this ship together.
Ship sinking. I know. Let's. I wish you could see him disappear to the back room. What do we got?
A. Rebel Castrate.
Oh, really? Rebel 1. No shit.
B. Old Elk.
Okay.
C was the toasted whatever.
Okay. Old elk here in last. You know what? Here's the thing. Nulu.
Well, wait a minute. How do we get from...
We got it all wrong.
Okay.
No. Because what really stands out is that grassy note after 9 cigars, whatever. Like, just the weeded part stands out.
Well, what doesn't stand out is the alleged strawberry taste
I know, right?
that's in the banana boat.
Well, and you might need to. It might like the fruity notes because their fruity notes are also more delicate. This might just wreck them.
Oh. So...
Listen, in case you're wondering, we're just gonna keep fucking these up because we smoke too many cigars. We're never gonna do this without cigars.
Yeah.
Be ready for that.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're gonna get it right.
We smoke first.
Yeah.
Then we taste whiskey. Smoking's more important. And cooler. So...
Oh my God! So tell me about some of the. I totally ran over you when you were telling me about some of the guests you had this weekend.
Dude.
Let's just summer weekend shop antics.
It's actually, so it's actually a culmination of the last 2 weeks.
Okay, we should preface this.
Yeah.
On Friday and Saturday, there's a nightclub. The shop stays open as long as the nightclub's open, which means by the bitter end, 2, 3 in the morning, you're getting some pretty toasty people.
Oh, no, these people were here early.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, these are the early summer people come out early.
Were they the early day drinkers or were they the early just kooks?
Combination of both, I think.
All right.
So I had one. One was this guy, okay, and he was like he had been to the bar, so he had a pretty good buzz going.
A bunch. Had he been to the bar a bunch?
He had been to the steakhouse bar.
Oh, so he just got the hammer hand.
Yeah. But he was over there with his lady. We'll get to her.
That's always a good start.
Yeah, but so he comes over, and I mean he's loud, and he's doing the because we're watching the basketball game, and he's like doing the I'm cheering as if I'm sitting in the stadium, having a good time, even though nobody on the TV can hear him cheer. And then he proceeds to tell the guy next to him, who's just minding his own business, sitting there smoking a cigar, that he's got $30,000 on this game.
Okay.
And he put it down. It was a Nuggets game.
Almost never the truth.
Yeah. He goes, I got $30,000 on the Nuggets. And I'm like,
Did they cover?
you put $30,000 down on the favored win? What are you trying to win? Why don't you just give that money away? Like what?
Yeah.
Like they were. I think at one point they were like plus 800.
You mean minus 800?
Minus 800, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, okay, sure, you're gonna win. I mean, if you put $30,000 down, you're gonna
Well, that's
win.
if you take that only counts if you take money line.
Oh, okay.
Because if you bet on the points, you're still getting the same 96% payback or whatever.
Oh, okay. Well, I think he was on the point. But anyway, so yeah, and then he leaves, and like I just looked at the guy and I was like, I don't understand the sports bet people that come in here and just have to brag about the alleged money they put down, because again, it's bullshit. Like you put $30 down.
Listen, when you see the stack of tickets that the Big J is holding,
This is true.
sometimes it's not bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, if he wasn't so cagey, like he's the guy. Like you see the stack of tickets, but then he like never wants to tell you how much he bet.
Well, this is the alternative to I bet this much, but I really bet a tenth of that.
Yeah,
Is the guy who always wins because he bet both sides in mass.
exactly.
Because you see, he only pulls out the 3 winners, and he obviously has 30 more
Has
tickets in his wallet.
way more, and you're like, okay, what'd you do there?
Yeah.
You know, like I could go down and throw $20 on every outcome too, and then come back and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna win for sure. Well, I'm gonna win one of these.
Yeah, one of these is gonna pay.
So dude leaves, and I'm like, thank God, you know, because he was fucking. Well, then he comes back with his lady.
Okay.
Now, they had just finished eating at the bar and drinking.
Yeah.
Jalapeno margaritas.
Okay.
And they proceed to sit down. And the guy says, hey, you know, I want to buy a cigar. And I'm like, sure, what do you want?
Hey, 30K. I got.
Yeah, we go.
Let me show you the most expensive cigar in the humidor.
Well, we went through the ringer, right? And it's an Oliva because he's like, I can't handle anything strong. He's like, I need something light.
Oh,
you
like
know.
a Connecticut?
Yeah.
Yeah. For that alone, we need Davidoff.
Yeah. So that, you know, I'm like, okay, cool. So I go and get it from the humidor, right? Mm-hmm. He leaves the counter and he sits down.
Oh, he expects you to bring it to him and do the thing?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. He wanted me to walk over to him and cut it and light it in front of him.
Now, I probably would do that.
Well, now if this guy hadn't
Been a jerk,
been a jerk about it,
then you might have.
there's a different conversation in there.
That's fair.
He then proceeds to pull out $20 and go, well, I was going to tip you. And I looked at him and I said, I'm not a dancing monkey and your legs aren't broken. I was like, if you want to sit in here, then you can stand up, walk over here, pay me and be respectful, or you can leave. And he was like, oh, we're not playing this game, huh? And I'm all, no, we're not playing this game. And so he's like, oh, reluctantly, he's like, oh, okay, fine, whatever. So he comes over and, all right, cool. And he goes and he sits down. Again, he's still cheering every time the Nuggets are scoring. And I want to be like, dude, nobody can hear you. Now, here's the best part. Okay, this guy, after bragging to the whole room that he's got 30 grand down
Yeah.
and all this, our friend Charlie from the bar comes over
Yes.
and goes,
Hammerhand.
hey, man, what room did you want to put this charge on? And the guy goes, 809. And Charlie goes, well, that's the room number you gave me, but there's no room in my computer for that. And he goes, oh, no, it's supposed to be comped by the host lady, Makiko.
Yes.
And he goes, okay, well, do you know where she is? Like, was she coming back to see you, to check on you, or? And he's like, yeah, you just call her. She'll take care of it. She said the whole thing was comped, you know, and he goes, all right. Charlie's like, all right, you know, so he leaves. Now, Charlie's getting flustered, too, because, you know, he's tried to do all these room charges things and can't do them. And then, you know, he comes back over here, and this guy, like, won't give his full name. Like, he's clearly being shady about it. And then he's like, well, it's the other guy, too. You know, you can just find Jonathan, you know. And he's like, okay. So I'm like, now you know how to name drop. I'm like, Quentin Tarantino would be really proud of you. You can just name drop. I'm like, look here, Kanye. Like, let's go. What do you got going on here? But then Charlie gets fed up with it, right? Because he's just like, I'm done with these people.
Well, Charlie's fed up with everything at this point.
Yeah. So then now Elizabeth comes over.
Okay.
Or Emily, whatever.
Emily,
yeah.
yeah.
So Emily comes over, and Emily's like, "Hey, I know you're trying to. You said this was supposed to be comped." She's like, "But, Kiko and Jonathan, they didn't come in with you to comp you, so I don't know where you got that idea from.
Yeah.
And she's like, I mean, I can, I already called Jonathan and he said no on the comping. So, and the guy's like, oh, well, I'll just come over and pay for it then. It's not a big problem. I was like, oh, really? It sounds like a big problem because you've been trying to tell everybody you were a high roller over here for a minute. Now you're looking pretty foolish.
Well, even if it was a high roll at their sports book, it's not our sports book.
Yeah. So he leaves, and then he comes back, and then Charlie comes back with like the signed thing, and he signs it. He's like, all right, cool, whatever. And I know he stiffed Charlie on a fucking tip. I know he did. And then we had to sit in here for the next 20 minutes listening to this guy clap, and his girlfriend is like so lost as to what's going on.
Yeah.
And she's already had like maybe four too many of these jalapeno margaritas.
Yeah.
Which I didn't even know we served.
Yeah, I didn't know we had that.
Yeah. So she's just like clapping and talking loud about like, oh, what? We have money on this? I don't understand what's going on, but this is exciting. And I'm like, cool. Nuggets win by like a lot. And she's like, well, we won money. We won money. And I was like, oh, please leave. Thankfully, they left. And like the other four of us that were in here were just like, the fuck did we just watch for the last like 45 minutes? And I was like, that's the summer, man. Like these people are coming out in full force.
It's coming.
Full force. Yeah. Just I don't get
Just
it.
be glad you get a little bit of a break before college and professional football.
I appreciate that.
Because those are definitely the worst sports betting seasons.
Yeah, they are really. College, especially college. Everyone loves that. Because apparently that's the only unbiased, not like scheduled sporting event.
Don't tell that to Big J. He'll tell you everything's fixed.
No, not college football. No,
He does. I've seen it. I was here.
no, he does, but I don't think so. I'm like, I'll give him some of the other ones. Sometimes I'm like, that's a little surprising there. Although I did appreciate that heartfelt story about the chicken runs at midnight. That was actually
That was pretty interesting.
I was like, that's kind of an interesting story for ESPN. I was like, is this a 30 for 30 or something? Like what?
This
Okay.
little feature. No, it's the Father's Day feature.
Yeah, it was. I was like, it was a heartfelt story. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. But yeah, that was one of the dudes, and then I just had those people that come in with those dumb, like jokes, and
You got jokes.
I just stare. I'm like, my brain just goes, dude. Either just look at him and don't say anything mean, or just say something mean. I have no like in between anymore. I'm just like, that's fucking dumb.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've heard that joke 100 times.
Sir, that's not original.
I just want to be like, what job are you in? And then just tell the equivalent dumb joke for that industry. Like, oh, you don't sell a car today? Well, you used car salesman? Did you?
I mean, it's nice because in here, the people that want to be in here appreciate that kind of stuff.
True.
I mean, it's a little rough because it's still a retail business, but the semi-regulars, the people that are going to smoke a bunch of cigars and represent most of our sales, are just going to chuckle, be like, that guy was an ass.
This is true. This is true. And I have thrown a couple of people out, and everyone goes, thank God you threw that guy out because I was about to fucking leave. And I was like, oh, no. I ain't sitting through that. If I'm not sitting through that, none of you guys are going to sit through that either. Trust me,
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never thrown anybody out.
You throw people out quicker than I do, which is sometimes really impressive because I'm like, I think about it, and you're already like, get the fuck out of here, pilgrim. You're like, what do you fucking think you're doing in here?
Usually they get a warning.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very stern warning.
And it's not, no. They get the understated warning.
No, it's stern.
No, because there are times where they're like, literally, they get to play nice. It's like, hey, man, play nice.
That's true. You do have that joking, like, hey, come on.
Yeah.
Let's be adults here.
Like, you're over a line.
Yeah.
Let's pull it back a little bit.
You go from like 0 to like, hey, man.
And then they're like, who's going to stop me?
Yeah.
And I'm like, ooh.
Who the fuck are you? Look at my face. Look at his face. We own this bitch. We throw you out.
Oh, my
without
God.
prejudice.
and Niner fans.
And Niner fans, that's true.
That's not true.
There's only a ratio of those that I will allow in here.
Most of the time, I'm okay with Niner fans. You remember that group that was sitting here, and they're harassing everybody that walked in with a team hat?
Yeah, they gave those kids that were Packers fans shit.
Yeah.
And then, because, like, you know, when you're on the 49er bandwagon, you're cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. We rock the red and gold because I just bought Santa Clara tickets.
I can talk most sports about most teams because I'm around it so much.
Yeah, I mean,
But those guys were just jerks.
Yeah.
I've got no problem talking about the 49ers. I can have a coherent conversation about their team. But they were just assholes. And I was like, hey, guys, that's about enough. Like, why don't you just hang out and enjoy your cigars?
yeah.
Well, this is just me enjoying my cigar.
I'm enjoying my cigar. I'm having a great
Well,
time.
that's unfortunate because it's not going to last.
What are you going to do about it?
Well, I'm probably going to call casino security and have you escorted out.
Oh, come on
I didn't
in.
log it. You're welcome, sir.
It's Mr. Papa Giorgio to you.
Sir works.
Or Mr. Papa Giorgio. No.
One of our little lifeguards, we've got, I don't know, 40 lifeguards that work there for the pool party. And they're all super young, right? They're lifeguards. So they're all like 18, 19, 20, 21.
Oh yeah, like I'm just here to pick up chicks and look cool without my shirt on.
And
Those guys.
girls, too. One of the leads walked by.
Oh.
And I said, so I used
Hello,
some name filler that wasn't her name. I wasn't even thinking about it. And she turns around, in her like high school arrogance and goes, what? Don't know my name? And I did. And I was like, yes, I used her name. And she was like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, it's okay. Yeah.
No. Don't worry about it, bitch.
I mean, what do I care? I just do it. Half the time I don't know their names when I'm doing it, but I use it all the time. That's what makes it natural. It's just from being behind a bar for too long.
Yeah.
Because 90% of those people, I can tell you what drink they ordered 30 minutes ago.
Before you can tell what their name was.
Yeah, no idea what their name is.
No, that's fair.
Yeah, I know they're drinking whatever. Here's your 2 Long Islands and your Jack and Coke. Oh, do you remember my name? Not a chance.
Not a chance.
Yeah.
I can do that with cigars. I'm like, what did I sell you?
Yeah, same thing.
What, I'm like, did I sell you that? They go, oh yeah. I'm like,
Dude, the one that gets
Yeah.
me is the person that comes back like 9 months later. Or 2 years later.
I was here like 10 years ago for like a wedding.
Yeah.
And like, we were like super drunk, but like, you remember us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I smoked this bomb cigar. You remember what it was? Not a
No,
chance.
not at all.
Like, I can probably get pretty close because if you were here at the bachelor party, I know what I would have recommended.
Right? It's like you just go, okay, well, there's only certain things I get for certain people for certain situations.
Yeah.
So-
Also, whatever I say is not going to be offensive because it's going to be super light.
Yeah.
It'll be
fine.
It'll be fine.
It's a Cusano.
You won't know the difference. Yeah. Bachelor party? Oh, it was a Cusano
It was
18.
a Cusano 18.
Yeah.
Perhaps it was a La Fontana. No, it was in Oliva, Connecticut.
What? I haven't even paid attention to the news. Is anything going on in the news this week?
The news?
Yeah. Trump got indicted again.
Putin went to Africa
Really?
for peace talks.
Is he securing mineral rights for?
No, I guess Africa offered to hold like neutral ground peace.
Oh, they were
talks.
like hosting him.
Yeah, so they hosted
Okay.
Putin, and then Zelensky went, the Ukrainian guy.
Did they actually talk, or did their people talk?
They kind of talked.
Okay.
I guess Putin blamed the Ukrainians for disrupting talks and not wanting to talk.
Putin was doing his best impersonation of North Korea.
Basically, it was just like, I am disgusted with this.
This flag is not the right size.
I am disappointed in the color of this table, But he also said some weird abstract shit about like, he's starting to talk about nuclear weapons again.
They moved weapons into what? Belarus?
Yeah,
Yeah. As a warning to the West.
yeah. I gotta think, and I might just be optimistic or whatever, but there has to be somebody like in his cabinet
No.
that would definitely like pop one in him if it got to the point where he's like, I'm gonna launch nukes.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
He's just surrounded by dudes who are just terrified of him.
He surrounded himself, by people that are in line.
Yeah, but he's
Same thing what's his face did in China.
But he's starting to get like old and senile. Like after a point,
Yeah, but if you're the guy in that room, even if you have some aspirations of stopping him.
Yeah.
But you know the other 9 people in the room will shoot you if you shoot him. What do you do?
The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the one.
You're killing me.
Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. Except in that room, who's strong enough to act? That's the real question. Who's strong enough to act?
That's
Listen.
Yeah. Okay. That's.
I've made a career of pushing shit uphill with people that I work for.
No,
and
that's-
it's a tough road to walk.
That's fair. That's fair.
And I'm not like there's not someone who's going to stick me with a poison dart out of an umbrella.
Right. No. That's yeah.
You want to pause this, Casey? How are you, sir?
No, he wasn't. He's just rude.
No, he's just quiet.
I mean, stern, I guess.
I don't think his English was very good.
No, that's true too.
Are we back on?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because he was speaking on the phone
Yes.
very fluently, I expect, from the sound of it. Jeremy Clarkson is banned from entering India. How many countries do you think they're actually banned from?
Well, there's probably a couple. They've probably insulted.
Yeah. I heard someone making fun. Like, he was just ragging on those guys for all the shit they did. The shit they did in Argentina. And yeah.
The Argentina thing was serious. Like, they legitimately
Oh, you know who it was?
caught flag.
It was, is it John Hennessy? I think it's John. When he was on the Rogan podcast.
Oh, okay.
Because he knows them,
Yeah.
at least a little bit.
Yeah.
And he was talking about what they've done, what they haven't done, what's real and what wasn't real. And
Yeah.
he was the one ragging on their shit with the Tesla.
That's fair.
They're like, it didn't really run out of juice.
Yeah. I mean, disappointingly, too, the Reliant Robin is not actually as unstable as they made it out to be, too.
I mean, it is.
It isn't. It doesn't actually roll over like that. It turns out they installed a modified rear differential
Oh, did they really?
and a larger front wheel so that it was higher up than where it's supposed to be.
And it just did it?
The Reliant Robin actually it will tip, but the side skirt catches it and then corrects itself.
Unless you tip with force. There were a couple. I don't think it would have mattered when he was on that downhill
No, yeah,
and yanked it left.
That was just because the bigger wheel.
No, I think on that one it would have gone over anyway.
Oh, maybe, but
He yanked that wheel really hard.
true. But I watched a couple guys, like two big dudes,
Yeah.
like max out a Reliant Robin going down a huge turn. It got a little sketch because it was on two wheels essentially, but it did correct itself back over. It didn't actually roll, and they were like, "Oh, okay, well, it was actually faked." I was like, "Oh, that's disappointing." The Reliant Robin's like the best skit ever too.
That is probably one of the best episodes.
Yeah.
But it's not so much that it keeps rolling. It's that he like sticks his head out the window and just randomly asks passersby for help.
Yeah.
And they just walk over and lift him back up.
Can you flip us back over?
That's the better part. The best part isn't the rolls.
No, and the news clip too, when he's on the BBC News, just going, just like skidding by, and you're like, "What? Was that really on the news? Like, what was that? What happened?"
The one where he was driving through the BBC studio in that stupid, like, personal car thing that he had. And, like, you can see it behind the broadcast.
Yeah, just going by, like, oh, okay, there he is.
What do you think? I mean, up until the point where he punched a producer, how do you think they dealt with him in those situations?
Like what? When he was,
Like when he randomly impedes a BBC broadcast.
well, at that point, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, they did have the most watched show on the BBC, right? On any channel.
Legitimately, during those times, like, if you just dropped the words Top Gear, people would, like, make stuff happen for you.
At one point, they were programmed up against, whatever that show was, Downton Abbey, and they actually lost a little bit of volume.
Yeah, those jokes there was no joke when they were making those jokes about people switching over to the BBC Two to watch, or BBC One to watch Downton Abbey.
Yeah.
Like, those are legit, like, stabs at people actually doing that.
Like, why did you schedule these two shows against each other?
Yeah, like, someone's like, how could you put Top Gear on while Downton Abbey's on? Like,
Yeah.
ruining my show. Because people aren't going to miss Downton Abbey. Come on.
I bet that caused more than a couple of fights
Probably did.
in English households.
It definitely was a destroyer of marriages, for sure.
We got to turn it over. Don't you dare.
Don't you fucking touch that dial. What I want you to know is, if you touch the remote, I will kill you. It's my Lance Reddick.
I knew that.
Guardian, you're starting to piss me off.
So, the guy that I work with,
Yes.
who used to work up here,
Yes.
was moaning yesterday.
Oh.
So, his daughter is in the same Father's Day dance recital in this casino
Oh.
every year.
Well, wait. So, but this weekend it was Miss Nevada and Miss Teen Nevada.
Then where was the dance recital?
Well,
Did they move it?
the dance recital was on Friday.
No. There's a Father's Day dance recital.
Oh, yeah. No, that was Friday.
No, on Father's Day.
Oh. Well, then it was here. Then
Was it a part of that?
Nevada was Saturday then.
Okay.
And I think Miss Teen Nevada was Friday.
No, because there were dancers walking around when I came through.
Yeah, that's today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we had to kick him out early. He got to leave early. I had to stay until 4:30. He got to leave at like 1 because he's like, I have to be in Tahoe for this thing with my kid that I do every year. He was bemoaning Father's Day to no end. He's like, this is crap. He's like, I don't get to do what I want to do.
What a tool. What a tool.
I mean, it kind of goes without saying, I suppose. Excuse me. What else is going on in the world? What do you want to talk about, Casey?
Oh, you know what I saw again?
What's that?
The Tesla truck.
Oh, again?
I saw it again.
Well, I haven't seen it yet.
I think they're testing it.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Well, because
'Cause
aren't they doing some of its production outside of Reno somewhere?
I think so. So it was on the freeway again.
Yeah.
It's a sexy truck. I got to admit, it's a sexy truck. It makes me want to truck drive.
Does it have enough battery that its range is basically a full day's transport, and then they plug it in overnight?
Yeah, basically, I think it accumulates itself to, like, because what, I think is it 10 hours on the road or something? Like, truck drivers have to abide by. It's like, with an hour break, like 2 hour breaks plus
Yeah,
10 hours
I think it's
something.
10-hour days.
Yeah.
It's 10 hours day. It's 10-hour days, but it sets up funny because it's not 10 hours with 14 hours off.
Yeah.
It's like 10 hours with 8 hours off or 10 hours off.
Yeah. Plus sleeping time.
And then they have limitations on you can only drive so many hours per week.
Yep.
You can only drive so many days in a row.
Yep.
They've got a bunch of limitations on it.
Yeah, it's a lot of rules I have to follow. But I saw it again. I was like, oh, there it is. There it goes.
What color is it?
It's white.
Okay, I'll keep an eye out for it.
Yeah,
I only drive
you'll-
that damn road every day.
You'll notice it because it's like you see it, you just go, oh, okay, I know what that is.
I know what that is.
That futuristic looking sexy beast of a semi truck is Tesla.
Hey, are we ever going to put up the camera that looks at the whole shop so we can?
A shop camera, so we can just bag on people when they walk in.
Well,
Like,
so we
look
can
at-
show people
look at that
actually
crummy-
watch this
yeah,
what our little shop looks
that
like.
crummy guy that just walked in and be like, oh, we're still filming. We said we paused, but we're filming.
Yeah, like you and Kevin making fun of me talking to that guy all night.
Yes. I wish we had camera footage of you just talking to that guy. Like, we're just sitting here, like, burning cameras, and we're just waiting. I'm like, okay, well, just stop talking to him.
Well, he was either gonna, I mean, he wasn't gonna sit through it, so I had to talk him into like leaving,
That's fair.
or I was gonna talk to him like a customer. It was one or the other, but he wasn't going anywhere.
No, he was staying. He was staying. Oh, actually, what I saw in the news today? Two things.
All right,
Batteries
are changing.
are changing.
What are they gonna do? What's the newest upgrade?
So now there's two. One of them is cool and strange. The other one is just an enhancement on idea. So there's one of them is a solid state lithium ion.
Okay,
So lithium ion, remember, is liquid in the battery.
but they're going to a solid state.
But
lithium ion.
apparently, there's a college working on right now is solid state lithium ion.
and they think it'll be successful.
And, so they had some cracking issues. Apparently, you have the same issues with solid state lithium that you do with crystallized lithium.
Okay,
In that once it gets enough energy, it cracks. And the cracking basically causes it to short out.
yeah,
So they think they can solve the cracking issue. They just don't, know if it's going to be permanent. So it's still in the works.
and
But
what's the upgrade?
the upgrade, believe it or not, is not lithium ion.
Yeah, I thought we were going to sodium.
So the new study they had for this, so that they built a test battery, and according to the data, it was 400% more efficient than a lithium ion battery.
Really? What is it?
It's magnesium mixed with I butcher the word every time, chitin.
Okay.
That's the material in shellfish shells.
Oh.
It's a blue pigmented material.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Or chitin, I guess maybe is what it's called.
But they think it's going to be...
CHIT.
What does the mining process look like for those substances? I know they were trying to look at sodium because we already have a bunch of sodium mines, and
Yeah.
it's not nearly as toxic as lithium.
Well, and neither is magnesium. Apparently, magnesium is super easy, and you just get the chitin from shellfish.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you think about it, we just pick the best shellfish. We build a shellfish farm, and we ship off the meat parts to restaurants or whatever. And
Which, we're already doing.
Yeah, and then we just reuse the shells for the chitin. But apparently the battery they built with this mixture was 400% more efficient.
Which is to say 4 times.
Yeah.
So what's its hold on charge? Is it better?
It had a 90% better charge hold.
Okay. So it's more efficient and it
held for
longer.
I think they were basically like it would have taken like 10 of a regular lithium ion battery to equivalent to what this one battery they made did.
Wow.
And I was like,
That's a big deal.
That's crazy though. It's who was like, yeah, you know what we should do? Magnesium and shellfish. Because I'm allergic. I hate that shit. And they were like, fuck, this battery works.
Well, we're not going to... I mean, the green revolution is going to require better batteries.
Well, and I mean, yeah, because better energy storage.
Yeah. I mean, our batteries aren't sufficient yet.
No.
They're good, and they're getting much better, but they're not sufficient.
Yeah, they work. I mean, but they're not. I mean, the lithium ion is the biggest advancement we've made.
I still wonder. I know most people don't have this problem. Most people are driving here and there and, 10, 20 miles at a stretch. I wonder how those cars work for someone that drives like I do.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, I've owned my car for a year and a half, almost exactly.
Okay.
I've got 32,500 miles on that thing.
Yeah.
So I drive a lot, and I drive long distances.
Well, I mean, you get 275, 280 out of a full charge.
Yeah, but...
Right? So...
Which would work for a lot of days.
Yeah.
But you can't miss a day of charging, so you can't be anywhere there's nowhere to charge it.
Right.
If you're doing what I'm doing.
Right.
And...
Yeah, I mean, you're just basically going to be full every day.
Some days, that's going to be half of what I need.
Well, I mean, that would be planning your day. That's what when they type in the directions in the Tesla,
It comes up, but here's the thing.
it plots the course, but it plots with stops along the way.
I get it.
But that would probably just piss you off.
It's not that it would piss me off. It's that oftentimes when I'm doing that, I'm doing it with a pre-existing schedule in mind. What's going on, guys? No, so the problem with the long drives that I do is that you end up with other commitments in there. And if those commitments don't line up with the pre-existing stops, throws off your schedule, or, I mean, in a lot of ways, it could go wrong.
Yeah, no, because I mean, sometimes you're gonna go and like, especially around here, right? Because it's like, where do you charge?
Well, and what if you're doing a recreational drive, especially in the West, through Utah or Nevada?
Yeah,
I mean, it's hard. Listen, there's a couple of roads in Nevada. It's hard to find a gas station.
Yeah.
We think there's going to be
I think that's why it's designed to take you like certain routes.
Yeah.
Because the last time I watched someone plug it in, it was like, oh, they were trying to get from like New York to Florida. And basically the Tesla was like, okay, you're going to drive like 45 minutes to this charging station. Right? And then it was like, okay, at this charging station, you need to sit there for, it was like 15 or 20 minutes, which gets you enough charge to then get to like the next station further away. And that's going to be like 45 minutes away.
Yeah.
And it was like this weird kind of like, drive and stop kind of deal. But you know, that's
It still seems a little
cool,
prohibitive.
But it, you know, I mean, yeah, I mean, I'll stop at a gas station and get some snacks every now and then if I'm on a long drive.
I mean,
But every 45 miles, I've got to stop for 15, 20 minutes. Like, cool. I guess it's good for my legs, but
I'm not saying I need 1,500 miles, but I'd like it to be 600 or 700.
yeah, yeah. Three is short.
Yeah.
And then when they're like, oh, well, you know, we've gotten it up to 400, and you're like, oh, have you now? Cool. That's not impressive.
Yeah.
You know, I want more than that.
That's my thinking.
No, you're not. You know, that's why I get a hybrid.
Yeah, and I think they work for a lot of people. Look, for most people, where 95% of their driving is their between 10 and 50 mile commute to work
Yeah,
and back and around town and for groceries and to dinner and to do whatever,
the simple stuff.
it seems fine.
Yeah,
But if you're doing real driving,
there's no way.
it still seems a little bit prohibitive.
Yeah, it is because again, you know, you're okay. We're gonna drive 45 miles. Cool. Now we have to stop for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Great. Okay.
Oh
You
God,
know.
can you imagine doing that with like 5-year-olds in the car?
Yeah, forget that.
You know, people are doing it.
You know, my problem. Like, have you ever driven one?
No.
My problem is the curves.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
Yeah, it slows down when you take your foot off the
Yeah,
gas.
as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it slows you down,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, you can't lift and coast in this thing because it's just gonna.
Yeah, no, and
It's gonna stop.
I definitely have an up and down on the gas pedal.
Yeah, like if I'm going downhill, I'm just like, oh, cool. I'm just gonna coast.
Yeah.
You know, and granted, the curves is cool because it's like shifting it down into like second gear, but you're getting battery back for it. So like that's cool, I guess. You know, in my commute, the half of my drive downhill would be fantastic because it would just be like, oh, kinetic energy recovery, sweet.
How much does it slow you down? I want to say a 6% grade.
I don't know. I didn't get a hill. I had the starter hill over at Ski Run Boulevard to try it on, and it felt sluggish going down.
Yeah.
Like that small hill. But it was in my car. I was borrowing it from valet
That's never happened before.
because they were like we need help parking cars, and I went over there and I'm all, give me the keys to the Tesla right now.
Yeah, I'm taking that.
I'm going to drive that bitch. And it was cool. Like it was, you know, like sitting in it, you're like, this is a spaceship.
Yeah.
And it's like it's cozy, you know, and the big screen in the center is kind of cool. And
Can I do the wheel? Can I lean back?
if you tilt it the right way,
I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can. That's
yeah,
close.
there
That's
you go.
kind of right.
Yeah, there you go. That's close enough.
We'll make it work.
Well, you can tighten the screw on the side too.
Yeah, no, I know. But I'm going to want to put it back when I sit back up.
Oh, that's right.
not
But
a-
yeah, it's a weird feeling to drive, and I just don't like it. It takes a learning curve.
Yeah.
And again, 300 miles is just so limiting.
Yeah, I would just want more.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's pure greed at that point. I just think I do enough driving that I would get annoyed with 300.
Yeah.
It would hurt me in certain ways.
Yeah. Because, I mean, you know, like what? 300 is about a full tank of gas on an average car, basically. Right?
Yeah, I think
So,
I
you
think
know,
I'm 360 on mine or something.
yeah. So, even on your one tank of gas. But, you know, the gas station trip is what, 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Like, oh, darn. And then I've got another 300 and whatever miles that I can go.
Well, and if you're in the wrong spot, needing to charge at the wrong time, that could get kind of sketchy.
Well, not that too, but like, I've seen these horror stories where it's like, you know, there's no, like it rains and there's no there's no drain, so all the Tesla spots have like this 2-foot puddle,
Oh, yeah.
and you're like, okay, so I'm gonna go and take this 200,000 volt plug whilst standing in 2 feet of water. I'm going to tap it on the side to get it to open because you have to do that while standing in 2 feet of water. And then I have to plug it in and pray there's no fucking spark. Like, come on.
Well, you also think about this, for people that have more nefarious purposes. If you pull in, they more or less know how long you're going to be there. Especially if they pick the right station, the right charging station. and they know it's a certain distance from any other charging station to that point.
Oh, yeah.
And they know they've got you. You're a captive audience for 20 to 30 minutes.
Dead to rights. Let me wash your windows, sir.
Yeah.
You want to buy a watch?
I'm thinking even worse than that. Like people want to do bad things.
Oh yeah, well yeah, because what if you're a homeless, you would pretend to be a homeless dude, right? And just sit on one of the corners and clock people parking there.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it's like, oh, what are those people doing? What's going on over there?
It just provides opportunities that I'm not sure I'm comfortable with.
Well, see, that's why I thought that the electronic charging gas station is a popular thing.
Yeah.
You know, like a safe, like a Starbucks basically, but for charging.
Even then, though, like, and I'm not even talking about that far outside of anywhere. Being in, like, coming home from Reno to here, right? There are
Okay.
times, it's sometime between 3 and 5 in the morning. No one's really out yet.
Right.
5, the sun's starting to come up. But if it's like 2:33, 3:30,
Yeah.
no one's around. You pull in a gas station. There might be an attendant around if the gas station, like if it's 24 hours for the convenience part.
Yeah.
You're getting gas. You see someone pull in, and you're asking yourself what they're doing.
This is true. Like I've been out at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, yeah, we'll get gas. And all of a sudden, like I see someone else, I go, what the fuck are they doing out? It's like, I'm like, I know why I'm out because I'm a weirdo, but like,
Well, and chances are they're doing the same thing you're doing.
Yeah.
But you're just far more likely to ask yourself those questions. You're like, there's no one else around. It's me in this car.
yeah, and you're just like, all of a sudden, you just go somewhere, and you're like,
And if you don't see him get out of the car, it's got that like Steven Spielberg, that drive moment. It's like the truck with no driver. You're like,
yeah, well,
I don't. And the truck never does anything nefarious.
Yeah.
But you just build it up in your head.
my mind is playing tricks on me.
Yeah.
No, I get to. I've like I've gone places and been like some other car pulls up, and I'm like, no, I'm good. I don't need to.
Yeah, you look at gas, you're like, I got like
I got
third of a tank.
got some gas.
I can make that work.
I can go to the next one.
Yeah.
Well, that was the one by my house was sketchy for a while.
Yeah.
Like something was wrong. Like it was like trickling out gas,
Oh.
and like so it was like they weren't like empty. They were just trickled.
It was just something was wrong with the pump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was like the whole system because like if like 3 of us were on it, it trickled even less. Mm-hmm. And you're like, okay. And so like one time I was just like so stubborn. I didn't want to go anywhere else, and I was like, I'm just gonna sit here. And 20 minutes later, I didn't even have half a tank, and I was like, okay, this is dumb. Like I don't even know what I'm doing.
We're out of here. But that's basically just like charging your car.
Yeah, and if there was no other gas station around, I would have had to been there. But I was like, this must be what Tesla's feeling.
I usually stop at the one at the bottom of the hill.
That terrible Hearst Chevron.
Yeah.
See, I like that one, but it's usually like 15 cents more expensive than the one in town.
Yeah, but I'm not going through town.
Yeah, so
And it's a nice place to stop too if I'm driving home at 3:30 in the morning and it's
Yeah.
starting to do the nod thing.
it's 24 hours. You can get out, walk, stretch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not terrible. There are questions that I have, right? Anyway.
It is terrible. It's a terrible Hearst.
Yeah, that's true. Anything else you want to talk about, man?
I don't know. Did I write anything else down?
Do you want to do a review on the Padrones? They're fantastic.
I mean, this Padron is what 1926.
Yeah, 1926 Maduro. I don't know what size they are.
They are the
Churchill-esque. They're a little bigger, a little broader.
yeah. I forget what they call them. They don't call them Churchills though. They call them something else.
Yeah, I know.
Like executives.
No, that's not it. I don't think. Could be. They're Padrones, right? Anyway, some of the whiskeys, Nulu won. No, Rebel won.
Rebel one.
Nulu was my favorite, though.
So you did like to.
I scored it 2 points higher than the Rebel.
All right. So it's the pecans.
No, it's the Nulu. It's the strawberries that don't exist.
strawberries. The strawberries with no strawberries.
Yeah,
So you just like the toast part.
apparently.
You were just like, it's toasted. I like it.
Yeah.
Toasted wheat. It's delicious.
But yeah, they're both pretty good. I
oh.
thought so.
What do you think of Star Trek?
Episode 2?
No, the
Episode
the
1?
first episode.
Oh, I thought it was great.
It was so good.
They do such a good job.
So good.
It's like watching Star Trek again from when I was a kid, right?
Yeah.
It's like the next generation
Yeah.
again.
Pretty much. It's
I
like,
mean,
oh.
Not in how Picard season 3 was the Next Generation again, because it literally just
legitimately
was the Next Generation.
Yeah.
But this has that Star Trek feel, like the Star Trek, the original series, Star Trek, the Next Generation.
Yeah, it's that episodic. Just
It's got a little bit of that DS9 feel to it.
it does. They're definitely building up already that Gorn War.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, okay, so we're already getting a war, are we?
But no, it's good.
Okay.
I'll watch it. I'm not even going to give Discovery another chance. I know you are, but I'm not.
I know you're out for that one, so
It's terrible.
it is terrible.
It had two seasons that were good. One season that was really good. One
Yeah.
season that was pretty good.
Yep.
And then it was terrible.
And then it was just hot garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah, hot
I
garbage.
just didn't even need to watch it. I watched the first 3-4 minutes, know exactly where it was going.
Yep.
Not want any part of it.
No.
And move on.
Yeah, especially the crying. Just like, oh, it's so whiny. And then you know.
Well, at least like Counselor Troy's counseling sessions in the Next Generation were funny.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's the best one still though is Insurrection.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's when they're starting to feel young again.
Yeah, I
Right?
remember that.
And that's when Riker he's got that bug, and so he I need counseling. She's like, well, there's a first time for everything, and he's like, yes, I don't know. And he goes in there and he lays down. He's like, is this how you do this? And she's like, not usually, but okay. I like. Yeah, and you know what's funny is I read an article finally, and someone said the same thing I did about Star Trek V.
What'd they say?
Star Trek V is a terrible movie, but it has the best version of Spock, Bones, and McCoy's friendship.
That's accurate, I think.
Yeah, and I was like, you know what? That's why I like V. I like V because it is definitely like them at their best friend moments.
Yeah.
Like even McCoy calls it out. He's like, how is it that we spend all our time together on the ship, and then we all take shore leave together? He's like, what the hell's wrong with us? Like, why would I want to see you guys on my time off? And they're camping in Yosemite. He's just angry. And
Yeah.
I think he's angry because he's been drinking Jack Daniels all day. Because clearly that's all he was doing. Because he was like, he's like drinking because he's watching Kirk climb the mountain, and then Spock floating around with the jetpack, and he's like just standing there next to the campfire just drinking. I think he was just drinking the whole time, and he was just like, goddamn irresponsible. Flirting with death. Maybe it didn't cross your macho mind here. You should have died today.
Oh, I really enjoyed Alex Honnold doing a critique of that climbing scene.
Did he really? Like the whole just.
Yeah,
he's
you
the climber?
showed it to me.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's like no.
Yeah.
This is terrible.
This isn't even rock.
It's like
I don't know what he's
that?
on.
What is that? Like styrofoam? Like
I
what?
drove. When I was a kid, we went into the valley when they were doing that. We drove by that fake rock face.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was at Valley View
See, they should have kept it there.
or Tunnel View.
They should have kept it.
No, it was.
Little Star Trek like monument right there.
It was like
There are some weird towns that have some cool Star Trek stuff.
I believe it.
Like Vulcan, Canada.
No, you can't because it's a tiny little space anyway.
Oh, is it?
It only fits about 12 cars,
Oh.
and there's usually about 1,000 cars that want to stop there because it's the most. Outside of Half Dome, it's the most photographed spot in Yosemite.
Oh, that makes sense. You see the pictures from the lower?
No, I'm sure it's flooded.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, I want to go.
Like there was a video, and it's like that observation spot where last year when we went, it was like nothing but sticks and like rocks and people.
Yeah, just flooded.
It's just water.
Yeah.
Like coming off the mountain. It like looks like it's raining, even if it's not raining. It's just,
I wanted to see if Will came in tonight. I was going to see if he wanted to go down there tomorrow.
oh, there you go. He probably would have been for that. I mean,
But he didn't come in.
he'd have to take your car.
I know. I don't mind that. I'm destroying that car. I put so many miles on it.
Yeah, there's no smoking in that car.
No, that's why he always drove.
I know that was.
I always
that was so convenient.
I always volunteered to drive. And he's like, "Can I smoke?" Like, no.
No, but if you drive, we can smoke in your car and we'll pay for gas. Oh,
Yeah.
all right. Well, then I'll drive. That means we can smoke.
I don't think he'll let us smoke in his next car.
No, you don't think so?
No.
I guess I'll also have to start driving places then.
Yeah.
That's okay. You know what? I love my car, and then I realized that like I fucked off the hood.
Did you?
Yeah, the hood's got like 4 dents in it from crashing through the gate to try to get out of the parking lot.
Oh. I thought they were foam.
They are foam, but the one part is not.
Oh, and it did
And
damage.
the one part, it's like it's kicked up and damaged, and it's like, well, it's kind of my fault, so I can't really blame anybody for it. I mean,
Did you slide through it?
I slid through the first one.
Oh, you've done it multiple times.
I slid twice going through, and then there's about 3 times now I've been trapped.
Or I would probably just get out and rip it off.
Yeah, see, you know what? I didn't think about that because I was like, oh, it's foam, it's fine, it breaks off. No, it's got a heavy piece. It doesn't break off and
Yeah.
will damage your car.
No,
So,
I'd probably just get out and rip it off.
yeah, so that's what I've learned now is if I get trapped in here again, to just get out and kick the thing over and
Yeah.
yeah, because they're broken, stupid.
Well, it's magnetic, right? It just sits back on there.
Yeah, well, it like sits on. It's like bolted on, or
Is it?
something. Like it's bolted on for tension. So if you just push it, it slides right off the rod that it's bolted to. So it's really easy to get it off. It's just don't hit it with your car.
Yeah, I wouldn't have, unless I slid through it. But I don't go through the one that you do that has the big hill that you can slide through.
Well, no, you can't now because it's all getting road construction off because they're dumb.
Oh yeah, they're gonna build that road.
Well, they cut up the sidewalk.
Well, yeah, but they have to build that road, that access road
No,
for load-ins.
the access road is still gated off in the construction zone.
Yeah.
They just did the sidewalk on a Wednesday or a Tuesday and decided that they were just going to let the concrete sit because it was supposed to rain, and then decided not to do the asphalt for whatever reason through a busy holiday weekend.
Probably too cold.
And then,
Probably too cold at night.
oh, yeah, I didn't think about that. That's true.
It hasn't
kinda
been
chilly.
warm. This hasn't been a warm summer so far.
No, and that guy's right. Tomorrow it's supposed to be like 56.
Yeah,
I thought it was supposed to be warm.
I thought it was too.
And I was like, oh, 56 is not warm.
Yeah, I know today with the wind, I'm sure they didn't open up the pool
Oh, yeah. Well, what pool?
at the hotel.
Oh, yeah, your pool. Your
Yeah,
pool's
yeah.
outside.
The pool party.
No, it was windy. It was way windier down there than was up here. That wind gets intense.
Down there.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I can't tell you how many times my dad's had to replace his fence.
That's funny. The neighbors just talked to us about fixing the fence.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The wind tears his down about every 3 years.
I believe that. Especially because he has that meadow on the other side.
Not anymore. They built houses back there.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's got to be killing the market. Oh, no, it's probably good. It's probably raising the market.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't asked. He's not selling his house anytime soon. So
No, I didn't think so, but unless he wanted to,
yeah.
you know.
I mean, he's been in it long enough. He wanted to. He'd make a pretty penny on it. But then you still got to buy another house.
That's true. Or build something.
I think at some point. Well, maybe not now that he got the new knee. I know at some point he was looking at a single story.
It is. I don't miss having a second story.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoy a single story. I'm like, oh, this is nice. Everything just right where you need it to be.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is fantastic. Like for so many years living on the second story, and I'm just like, oh man, this is nice. Like moving stuff in, you're like, oh, okay, cool. I just have to walk it in. Not, oh, I have to walk it in, and then okay, let's finagle it up to 20 steps.
Well, it was like that ridiculous behemoth of a couch that Will had that he was getting rid of.
Oh yeah,
And he's like, you just take it. Like, okay. He didn't explain to me how big it was.
yeah.
He's like, you don't think you can get it down my stairs? I'm like, I can get down your stairs just fine. I can't get it up my stairs.
Oh yeah, because your stairs are.
Well, it's on the 3rd floor and they're closed in.
Yeah, there's not like an opening on top. They're just,
Yeah.
it's like hallway.
Like, I'd have to winch it up off my patio.
Yeah. Hire a crane to have it delivered. And I'd have to take the patio door off, too. So, like, it's twofer. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. No,
He goes,
that's-
oh, yeah, I could see that being a problem. I'm like, there's no chance.
Yeah, at least your stairs are easy and outside and, like, easy to finagle. No, don't miss living up high. If I ever live up high, I'm gonna have an elevator.
Hey, there's plenty of houses in Incline that have that.
The elevator?
Yeah.
I don't want to live in incline.
Why not?
And it's incline.
It's nice up there.
It's incline.
It's nice. A little windier than it is down here.
Yeah, no, I want to be like neighbors to Jeremy Renner.
Oh,
I want to move over there.
okay. I mean, it's a nice area.
Yeah.
And it's quiet. It's not like he lives in the middle of a bunch of mansions.
No, he lives off kind of like off a mountain.
Yeah, he lives off of Mount Rose Highway.
Yeah. I want to live over there. I want to be neighbors with Jeremy Renner.
It's nice up there.
Exactly. It's quiet, close, and it's like 20 minutes from Reno. Like it's perfect.
I do that drive sometimes when I'm bored and I just don't want to come back the same drive every time, I'll go over Mount Rose.
See,
I want to ski there. I've never been on that mountain
How have you never skied? Like what? You've hit like every other mountain,
because all the other mountains are part of passes.
but didn't you have?
Theirs is separate.
Are they not on the Icon Pass?
No, they're an independent mountain.
Oh.
They're probably on like the California Gold or whatever it is.
Oh. That was that was funny. The one day, this last winter, like every mountain was closed except for Mount Rose,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh, dude, that's weird. Every mountain's closed but Mount Rose." They're like, "Well, come on over. We got the highest base. We're great. We got parking for days. Come on and ski Mount Rose." And I was like, "How much is it?" And the dudes that were in here looking for tickets are like, "It's like $135." And I was like, "For the day? That's cheap."
That's cheap living for mountains these days.
For mountains these days, I was like,
I think
Heavenly's like $250.
I think Heavenly. I don't know if it was 250. I think it was 235 at its most expensive. It might have hit 250. There were mountains in Colorado and Utah that hit 300 this year.
A day?
Yeah,
Oh,
which is silly because you buy the pass for $700.
yeah, and you just can go whenever.
Yeah.
You just have to get 2 days out of it to make it cost more effective.
Yeah. At Heavenly on my pass, it's 3.5.
Yeah, and you're done.
Yeah.
But you get like at least 10, 12, 15, 20.
Oh, this year I think I got to 30.
Oh,
And it was a light year.
30, making up for the lost years.
Yeah. Although most years I get pretty close to. I get between 40 and 50 most years.
All right, well, that's respectable.
I get more than enough value of my pass, even though most of the time they're half days, which is the best part of having a pass. You go up for the morning, you're up there for 2-3 hours, the crowd shows up, you bail, you don't have to feel bad about it.
No, that's fair, especially when it starts to get like murder mountainy.
Yeah, well, at Heavenly, because it's such a tourist mountain, you end up with just some people up there doing kooky ass shit.
Yeah,
You're like, nope, it's time to go.
that's yeah.
About the third time, you're almost run over by someone doing something stupid when you're just like
trying-
you're either at the bottom or you're off to the side of a run doing something.
And someone just,
Yeah.
you're like, what?
Nope,
Damn.
I'm done.
Damn cherries.
Or about the fifth time, someone slams the bar into my helmet on the
yeah.
chair.
Oh yeah.
Like, you want to call that out? Oh, I did. I thought that was just what we did.
No. It's a barless ride.
It is in Europe. In Europe, they use the bar, I think, all the time.
Do they really?
Yeah, East Coast too. West Coast, though, it's just less.
That's because we're just lazy.
Yeah.
And you're like, you know what? I could put the bar down, but
What movie is that? If he dies, he dies. Yeah.
what movie is that? That's a good question. But that's the mentality for sure.
That is sort of a West Coast
yeah,
mentality.
it legitimately is. It's like, it's a safety feature. You're like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
If you fall off, you just started to run earlier than expected.
Yeah, you're like, listen, don't fall.
Yeah, just don't fall.
Yeah. Or be prepared when you do.
Yeah.
Bend the knees.
Yeah, tuck and roll.
Yeah.
If you can. Remember,
Except
away from the board,
Except
not
on
towards.
skis, you have to tuck and roll sideways. You're like, look, you're going to need a 90-degree rotation.
Yeah, you do almost need the paratrooper landing, huh?
And then
You
bend
have
the
to
knees.
Bend
Yeah.
the knees, go sideways, and fall over.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's perfect. Snowboard's just like, all right, just away from the board or click the bitch off, and go get it.
It's harder on a board because you have to reach down and undo the buckles.
Not true. That's, you know what? That's $1 million idea right there.
No, people have tried it.
Little key fob
Oh,
that
God.
unlocks the boot.
I can't see that going wrong ever. There's someone invented.
That's true.
They're like, it's easier to get on and off the chair. So they created mounts for bindings that swivel. They like rotate.
Okay.
I'm like, how is that not just an invitation to a knee injury?
Yeah, that's a twisted ankle
Yeah.
and a knee. That's over rotating your hip.
I saw that. Like, that looks treacherous. They're like, but it makes getting on the chair so easy. Like, or you could just get off the chair.
I'm sure it does. Or you could just do the little hand signal.
Yeah, slow them down.
Slow them down
Yeah,
because
they'll do it.
that's what you need. They'll do it for
Although-
you. And then
Lately, with the lifties, that's a little questionable.
that's true because I could never get off the chair gracefully for whatever reason, even if I slowed it down.
Oh, a lot of people can't.
And then it's like all of a sudden you're like, okay, you hear like the 24 clock ticking behind you because now someone else is coming up and you're just like, oh, boop, boop. He's like, get out of the way, get out of the way, tuck and roll. And you're like trying to drag a snowboard. You're like, I can't move, I can't get up. Like a wounded seal. You're just like,
I've been on the chair, and most of the time, like I've got enough control that most of the time I can scoot around in one way or the other.
yeah.
But you'll be on a full chair, and there'll be someone just spread eagle across the ramp, the exit ramp, and the lifty's not stopping the chair or helping him out of the way.
Nope.
You're like, what do we, guys?
Do we go over?
Guys.
Do we?
It's like Chunk and Goonies.
Hey, you guys, what's going on? That's you just have to judge how far in they are.
Yeah. Well,
And
at some
it's
point
like,
you just
do
look.
You just go over.
Yeah. At some point you're like, all right, I can ride over the equipment there. Whatever. If it fucks up my board, it fucks up my board.
Yeah, it's fine.
You're like, it's better than running over them.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah. Anyway,
you bastard.
we have to have been going for a while.
Hour and 30 minutes.
What do you say we call it? I think we're kind of rambling at this point anyway.
We are just kind of randomly
Just
rambling
talking.
about silly stuff, which is how we get.
Yeah. If you ever come into the shop and it's just me and Casey, this is what you get.
Exactly what we're doing every day. What are we doing? Rambling about shit. I don't know. We've solved many of the world's issues rambling.
And most of Hollywood's problems
Definitely.
that they didn't listen to.
Definitely. Yeah. If Hollywood ever wants us to solve Hollywood, just call us. Give us about 2 weeks. Done.
Oh my God. All right. You want to do the outro?
What is the No, you do the outro so good,
All right.
But you don't subscribe to how I do the outro?
Oh, finally. They didn't make it this far.
No, you don't think so?
No.
I don't like where you're going with that.
Yeah. Positive thinking.
Yeah.
You sound like my boss.
I'm aces in places.
Listen, I would have turned this thing off like 45 minutes ago.
What does he say?
Aces in places.
Aces in places. I don't even know what the fuck that means.
Yeah. It's,
I don't think he knows what that means.
well, no, it's super Like if you ever watch John Taffer on Bar Rescue, that's kind of
I
his.
thought you hate that guy.
I can't stand him. He's a fucking shitbag. But that aside, like that's his thing, right? Like put talent in the best spots, and by talent I mean both that they're competent bartenders and they're extremely attractive.
Oh, yeah.
That's his thing.
Yeah.
But I've had to work in too many places where you just need people to bartend, right? You have to learn how to create good bartenders or good employees generally. And if you can't, like this is the problem with aces in places, is it rewards previous skill. So yeah, that spot will be fine, but your other 18 wells will be trash and will never get better.
I got you. Okay.
So if you just reward the people that are already good
Yeah.
and you don't promote growth in any way,
Yeah.
you're fucking your business eventually somehow.
Oh, okay.
This is my problem with cliches like that because they're always backward looking.
Yeah.
Like you're basically guaranteeing that eventually you're going to kill your business. This one spot will be overloaded with traffic,
Yep.
and no matter how talented they are, people are going to bitch about the wait, and the other spots are going to be a ghost town, and you're not going to know why.
So you should come up with Wild West anecdotes for when he says those anecdotes.
I just might.
You should be, he's like aces in places. You're like, cattle don't brand itself.
Yeah.
You'd be like, what?
What?
You heard me, cattle don't brand itself?
Oh my God. He's already picked up a couple of my things.
Oh, no.
Because when we talk about wasting time, right? Like in a casino, you're going to work long hours. In a nightclub, you're going to work long hours. It's just a thing.
If
but you
go
don't
to work, you're going to work long hours.
You don't waste hours doing nothing. Like if you know that you're going to smoke your people on certain days, you do your best to make sure that you're not smoking them all the time.
Right.
But we were smoking people all the time, including me. And when he was like, well, this is just a job. You're going to have to work a lot. And I'm like, that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't mind being here to do the job.
Yeah.
But let's control the controllables and take care of our people when we can.
Yeah. If there's a day where I can go home early, you best believe I'm going to go home early.
Yeah.
If there's a day that I have to work 12 hours, then okay, I'm going to work those 12 hours, but you're going to owe me a day off. Yeah.
It's not even that. Like, I'm not even saying you need to bank time off for, like, there's no favors owed. But as a manager or a director or an executive at any level, especially in service businesses where people are going to work those hours, you do your best to mitigate their time so that they can do stuff on the days where you have nothing for them to do.
Oh, okay.
Like, don't have them standing around for no reason.
Yeah, I could be doing 10 other things other than standing right here.
Yeah, and you can't just assume. You can kind of assume with bartenders and cocktail waitresses that if it's slow, they're going to start begging to go home. But you can't just assume that. Like, you sort of have to babysit a little bit and make sure that you're kicking people out or telling them not to come in, that you're sort of actively looking for the opportunities where people can be there less so that when they're there more, they're not already bitter.
I got you. That makes sense.
I mean, no one's going to be happy in hour 10. But
True.
if they have a 12-hour day and they know it and they show up and they're unhappy at hour 2, you've got a problem.
Yeah.
And it's a problem that you created for yourself, probably.
Yeah, that's probably true.
So, I mean, it's not them. I expect them to be miserable in that situation.
Yeah.
If they're on, 12 days in a row and I've had them wasting a lot of time, they didn't make a lot of money except for maybe 2 of them, and they're walking into a 14-hour day, I expect them to walk in pissed.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Although, I've been happy on hour 10 during a 16-hour shift. But that's just because by hour 10 I was just loopy and didn't care anymore, and I was just like, ooh.
Oh, there's definitely that point. I've gotten to the point in more jobs than I can count. And it's usually longer than hour 10, but there's like an hour count where you just realize that you're useless. All you are is just a walking micros card to like just do comps and shit.
Yeah, you're just there to just like automate things.
Yeah.
I'm just here. Don't talk to me.
I'm little more than a set of keys.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah. Or you could ask simple questions, but not hard ones. Yes,
Yeah.
yes or no questions only.
What you're going to get is monosyllabic answers.
Yeah.
So be prepared.
In snarky form. So
Yeah.
make sure that they're yes or no. That way I don't hurt your feelings. Yeah.
Oh my God! All right, give me the camera.
Wait, let's see. Do we still have? Hey, look at
Hey,
that.
I'm still here.
Still have camera still on. Look at that.
All right, guys. I'm Lane. He's Casey. We're at High Sierra Cigars in Tahoe. Come see us.
Ooh,
The quick out.
I like the fade. The fade's cool.